I have developed a new way of sweeping the floor for a missing part. Hey, it worked. I found it. Welcome to Max's Models. I'm Max. Hey, everybody. So last night I got started on the what I call skid fitteds, the Sd.kfz 253 from Dragon, 1/35th scale. And it was already kind of late at night, but I was just in the mood to start building something. So I got on it. And when I opened everything up and spread out all the parts, I was like, how can there be this many parts on a 1/35th scale model half track? And then I remembered, oh yeah, because it's German. And one look and I realized, yep, no rubber band tracks here. We're going to have to link every one of them. And so I start looking at all these tiny little parts that I've got to glue together. And they snap into one another, and then you glue the little track shoe on, and that seals it. And of course, you start working on all the interleaved wheels and everything. And I did pre-paint the edges just to get a black base on them, but I knew I wasn't going to pre-paint the whole model because I'm going to wind up, putting a combat scheme on it with mud and everything else. And so I don't really need to get that even airbrush coat. I can go ahead and brush paint it. Also, when you're dealing with all these little parts, I found that if you pre-paint them, a lot of times the glue intrusion and everything just makes a real mess out of it. And sometimes it interferes with the bond. So I went ahead and just started putting the track together. And as I got chunks of it done, I would start painting it once the glue had hardened some. And the first time I kind of got just enough to lay it on top of the interleaved wheels. And then I went ahead and started building it on the vehicle. And that had its issues, but it did work. And then the next one, and I believe it was 39 links and 39 pads aside, so it was at 154 parts. And about 3:30 in the morning, I was like, yep, Betty by time. I didn't realize how time had gotten away from me. And had a surprising amount of trouble falling asleep after doing all that tedious, repetitive work. I thought I'd have knocked right out, but I didn't. So I got up late this morning and got back on it and got it finished. But the next one I built in one long stretch. And then I set that off then I painted it and set it off to harden. And then I would figure I'll come back later and wrap it around. Started working on the paint job a little bit. And the nice thing about this is I just brush painted a U-Fuel gray and then white camouflage. And I was, this is fun because, no masking or, getting too bent out of shape. It's a field applied camouflage pattern. It's supposed to look rough. And I did follow the instruction sheet, but kind of doing my own thing. So I set all that off to dry. And while I was doing it, I said, well, I'll break out the Honey, the M3 Stewart, and start working on that. Now, this is an Academy kit. And at first blush, I panicked, not only because there were so many parts to it, but because it looked like I was going to be linking tracks again. I was like, oh, the humanity. But it turned out they give you the option. They have both link tracks and rubber band tracks, or vinyl rubber. I think it's actually kind of a rubber. But I was like, oh, yeah, we're definitely going with the rubber on this one. But I will be using the link tracks to make some extra track to go on the vehicle, like spare track. But this was worked very differently. Like the German one, it goes together the way the actual vehicle did. But this one, the links actually function on the Stuart, which is, for some reason, it's one of my favorite tanks. It's just armor durable. And it has the outside guide teeth, because it has single wheel bogie system on it. So the track links are held together by a link with the guidance teeth that hooks one to the other on each side. And that's the way you put the tracks together. Very accurate. Also very, very, very tedious. Kind of tricky to do because it's such a snug fit and everything's so small. And it does have to be glued in once you get it there. You'll be needing some tools to work with, which I tried doing it with my fingers. Like, I'm going to have to use some tools. And I did a few just to test them, but I'm going to be going with the rubber tracks on it. So I start working on it, and it just kind of fell together. It's one thing led to another. It started going very quickly, and I was very happy with it. And of course, I haven't pre-painted anything. One of the things I'm happy is that the bogies I can put it all together, but the bogies, the wheels can pop out of the bogie. So once I get everything painted, I can pop the wheels out and then paint the black rubber on them and pop them back in. That's a nice touch. The thing even rolls freely, which on its road wheels, which is, oh, that is so cool. Actually, so far, this, and it's got a full interior in it also, which I was not expecting. And, well, not a full interior, but it's got a crew compartment. I don't believe there's an engine or anything with it, but it does have a pretty nicely done crew compartment, turret basket. And I was like, wow, I was not expecting all that. So, of course, you could, if you want to button it up and just make a box, a shell display, you don't have to put all the internals in it. But I'm going to. I got to go find a painting guide. They does have a few little numbers here and there, say paint this color and paint that color. But I think it's the intent is make it mostly olive drab. But I want to look inside and see. I'm doing the British version, so I'm sure every country did a little bit different. A lot of a lot of American armor, the insides are painted white to enhance light. And so I'll have to see what the proper color pattern is. And you won't be able to see it that well. Well, I don't know. The way the top sits on, you probably could make it where the top wasn't glued down so you could pop it off and show everybody. Kind of a nice little feature. I don't know if it's intended that way, but anywho, getting the side skirts glued on, they were the only things that didn't really fit. They were just a little bent or warped, which just happens when you have long, skinny pieces, but they tag down into place with glue without any problem. So far, I haven't had any real issues with it yet. And this is a really nice kit of it so far. So I'll let you know as everything progresses on that. So then I went back to the half-track, and I didn't realize how small those half-tracks are. They look big and imposing, but you put it next to a Stuart, and you're like, it's not really all that big. And they're both 1/35 scale. Well, that you get a tip on that when you see how tight the driver is inside the thing. Like, man, this thing's not much bigger than like a command car, which is kind of what it is. So that's where I'm at for right now. I'm heading off to a family function, so that's all the building I'm going to do for today. I don't know. I might sneak back and start working on it again tonight. But after what I put up with the past few days, these are much more enjoyable builds. Made a lot of progress. I mean, I got all this done on the first panel of the instructions with the Stuart. And the Dragon has a very nice instruction sheet, but both of them, the instructions will show how to put something together on one side and then nothing to the other side. And I'm like, guys, I mean, you can look at the parts and tell how it goes, but you might want to pick the other one once for the other side, give the numbers at least. But yeah, it's no big deal. They figure if you're building these, you know what you're doing. You'll figure it out. So far, both of them seem to have really good fits and a lot of detail. So I'm real happy with both of them. All right, well, that's what I did today. And we will talk to you guys later. You take care of yourselves. And as always, model on.